Next up, what I wanted to do is call forward all the people that are so special here that make this meeting happen. Gwen, come here. Irene, Melissa, Evan, Bill, come on up, please. Marta, please. Yeah, everyone. Elizabeth Crow, Elizabeth Crow. You know, I mean, truly, thank you, everybody, because these guys, this meeting would not happen unless everybody contributed. Yeah. So let's remember that, as Amy is going to speak about tonight, this is local vesting. You know, we have to invest in our community, and that's what this is all about. So mahalo, everybody. Yeah, we're all good. All right. Jim Hall. Sorry, Jim, Rob. Yeah, our videographers, the flies on the wall. Thank you very much. Jimmy Hall's been my friend since I moved here in 1978. His family took me in. I was this wayward boy from the mainland, and his family took me in, and I slept next to a barber chair in their living room for about a month.
What happened?
Look what happened, really. I slept next to a barber chair. Yeah. His parents actually built the Maui Theater, which is a church now, right? Yeah. So Jimmy was the projectionist. Still doing it, huh? Okay. Dear friend of mine. All right. So, that's why I forgot you to introduce such a good friend. Okay. Bill Greenleaf is Bill is a state board member of the Hawaii Farmers Union and is our legislative chair. And Bill has been really grabbing this tiger by the tail. I have been involved in farmer organizations on this island that do nothing legislatively for us farmers. And I say that with knowledge of knowing that that's the truth. And so I really appreciate that Bill has really grabbed this tiger by the tail. And he's going to speak about food safety, which has been a big issue on the mainland to bring here, you know, to Hawaii. There's been this whole fear around food safety, and Bill has really quelled a lot of those fears with some very pragmatic research and working with other folks like Al Santoro on Oahu and Glenn Martinez on Oahu, and I'll let him fill in the blanks. So Bill Greenleaf.
Well, I'd just like to begin by saying what Harry was saying about how life-giving these light cycles are. And, you know, we're in a light cycle here. You know, as I look around and see the life-giving nature of this experience of us all being together, it just feels great. So thanks, everybody. So, food safety kind of started off as an interest, and then it became really pressing. If I take you back just to June, is when we found out that the state had passed legislation, unbeknownst to everybody, without any hearing, and the legislation would have left rules and regulations to be managed behind closed doors. And we just didn't find that acceptable at all, and we all got together, put our voice out, and Governor Abercrombie vetoed it, and he asked us to come back with a bill this year. So we spent all summer, I've talked about that, and it was really a great collaboration. We put out reached our hand out to Farm Bureau. We said we want to build a bridge of respect. We all grow food, and that bridge is still there. We've gone our own separate ways now with our legislative initiatives, but I will eternally feel that building a bridge between farmers is the right way to go. And Farmers Union is going to continue to put our hand out and support whatever we can that they do, and ask for their support as well. Well, I got some really good news to report. At a meeting about 2 or 3 meetings ago, maybe it was October, Gil Keith Agaram's wife was here, Callie, and she is here with Terry Irwin, and after the meeting she talked to me quite a bit about Gil being head of the judiciary chair, and most bills die in judiciary or finance. So I waited a while to contact Gil, and then I contacted him, and he was quite responsive. In fact, he went above and beyond the call of duty. He had me in, he explained to me all the legislative steps, everything we had to do. He had his staff write a bill for us. Now there's been 3 other bills written in the House, and one is, we've got some really good news, one is in the Senate, and it's had a first hearing. So now we're going to need a first hearing on a bill in the House, and I'm not sure if we're going to have to consolidate our 3 bills or 4 bills. I think that's what's going to have to happen. Did most everybody get an announcement tonight from Farmers Union about this meeting? Flyer? So our database is in place. Besides Lehu had taken on all the Lehu had taken on everything for the website. We really had to get the database done quick. I was trying to cram it in December, and let's thank Elizabeth Crowe. She saw what I was doing, and we made a deadline of January 10th, and we got it done.
Right on, Elizabeth.
Lehu wanted to do it. She was moving 2 houses and 4 other things. So. And thank you, Elizabeth, for stepping up for that. It's really been great. So now we can really communicate. So we're going to need everybody's voice, and I'm not sure exactly when, but I'm going to let you know with an email. And what I'd like everybody to consider doing is calling several of your friends. I'm going to give you phone numbers, people to call, and what we need. We may need to do that more than once during the legislative session. There's a first hearing, then it crosses over. The House crosses to the Senate crosses back to the House. And by calling key legislators, the Farmers Union voice is heard. And we're going to interface with other groups like FACE. We're talking to KANU. And we really want to just say we're the voice of the small local agriculture. We want to really let them know big time. So I know I can count on everybody in this room to do that. So we'll send you some really clear correspondence on that. Helen?
Can you just tell us a little bit about what the bill says?
Sure. We can do this ahead of time too. We can work on segues, but that was perfect. Thank you.
Is there any coincidence that you're working on legislation and your name's Bill?
I don't know what to capitalize anymore. So I just want to read what Gil's staff wrote in the first couple paragraphs. Hawaii's farms, there's so much heart energy in what we're getting from the legislation.
Microphone.
Oh, Hawaii, I'm a loud talker anyway. Hawaii's farms and farmers reflect the heritage and diversity of many cultures and people. They are the cornerstone of the state's goals for food security, sustainability, and self-sufficiency, and are essential for producing local food for local consumption. The number of small farms in Hawaii has grown substantially during the last 10 years, reflecting a changing agricultural model from plantation to smaller farms with diverse cropping and marketing systems that create new local food sources and significantly increase employment. There is also a renewed interest in school gardens. Where's Lane? Yes. And I love seeing that in there. There's also a renewed interest in school gardens where children learn economic, scientific, and cultural lessons and farmer almanac lessons through an agricultural-based curriculum. Yeah. I mean, you can feel the hard energy in there.
Who wrote that?
That's from Gil Keith Agaron's staff. That was the first bill that came out. You know, my whole first conversation up here was talking about the word pono. You know, it just came up as a conversation. And pono is the Hawaiian word from the heart. Right energy, right livelihood. And you know, I'm really feeling it in all the work we're doing. It's really coming out strong. Microphone. I got some other news. I just wanted to read to you just briefly an op-ed piece. That's right.
That was the preamble. What does the bill want?
We're going to post the bill. But the bill, and what the bill wants, I'm going to summarize it right here. We're posting all of this stuff up on our website. And I'm not going to say anything about it because we've got the boss over here. She can tell us. But it's really happening. And Al Santoro, maybe I should just digress for a second. Al's a food safety certified, organic, Farm Bureau member on on Oahu. And he's really taken this on and been a cornerstone of all our meetings. He sent us an email 2 days ago, and on Oahu they were meeting to form a North Shore chapter of Farm Bureau because they wanted more voice. And after they met and talked about it for a while, they just couldn't figure out why they wanted to be associated with Farm Bureau, and now they're going to start a Farmers Union chapter over there. Wow. And so this is Al's op-ed piece, and he gets down to the last 5 pieces, the 5 bullet points. So what we're asking for is a science-based identification of pathogens, their sources, and preventions. What we're creating is Hawaii good agricultural practices. The USDA and the FDA have put out good agricultural practices. And it seems like they were written with lawyers with an eye on nobody ever being sued. So they're germophobic, they cover every single possible thing, and a small grower they don't have those threats and risks. So we're going to keep science in it, but we want to identify it based on threats and risks that are local to each personal farm. It's going to be farmer education and training program in these Hawaii good agricultural practices. There's going to be risk analysis for differing crops and cultivation practices. We're also going to include a consumer education component. That's really big in other countries. There's no home economics anymore, and everything's fast food, so a lot of people just aren't getting the word as to how you need to handle whole food. That's going to be in there. And then the final piece is just imagine a website with a list of protocols, and you can cut and paste everything that is specific to your farm. You can put it up there and do a self-audit. All of us local growers are looking the people in the eye that we're selling to. We want to sell them good food. So it's a self-contained system. And then the latest news is we've talked to National Farmers Union about Farmers Union actually becoming the third-party certifiers. And furthermore, we've asked it out. One of the sticking points in legislation is the cost. Nobody has money. So we think we can do it in a cost-effective way where it's not a burden to the farmer and it's not a burden to the state. And that process will be, the final piece of good news, and it's been a week of good news, is Hawaii National Farmers Union is talking now and meeting about making Hawaii the prototype for this national program. So yeah. And it all just came out of
You know, folks, what's really special about that, National Farmers Union is really excited about what we're doing. I mean, this is like unprecedented if you're a farmer and you're involved in farmer organizations, okay? So we're really excited about that. Tell them about Chandler, your experience at Chandler.
the Farm Bureau had a national meeting, and the Farmers Union Vice President in charge of Legislative Affairs, Chandler Gould, who was the chief aide for the Secretary of Agriculture for about 10 years. This guy knows his way around Washington. He came to Hawaii. They took him around to 3 farms on Maui, and then he went over to Oahu, and he's great. He can make magic happen, and he fell in love. He got the feeling of what we're doing over here, the small-scale local agriculture, and in paradise, where we just keep educating ourselves. We can all do a little something to make our island healthier and ourselves healthier. He felt it for sure. Yeah. Okay.